Okay. Yesterday was really interesting because for like 8 minutes during the review, I was talking and they couldn't hear me.
No one said anything?
Finally, someone,
Yeah.
sent, because I don't know, did you know that I was talking?
Well, it was weird because we thought you were still like waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They don't know. Then someone, maybe I switched the slide
Mhm.
and someone said I couldn't hear you. And I don't know what I did because it fixed itself. So I was wondering, was the Wi-Fi in my house maybe? Yeah, I don't know. So it's kind of strange. All right, can you talk with your partner and go over all these things? Give you a couple of minutes, go.
Explain the tax. So the MPC is basically like, I'm giving $1. How much that dollar do I end up spending? So if I give $1, I spend like 75 cents. To calculate my tax line, I take one over that $1 minus that 75. And when we're, once you spend that multiplier, to get our tax multiplier, that's what we did in the drill. You do one minus the taxes, it doesn't have anything to do with it. People are more likely to save. Yeah, we'll do something on it. But yeah.
All right, any one of these that you or your partner have any questions on?
I'm gonna have to go with, number 4.
And, yes, Ryan.
The real GDP one, the second part of the question. Is it, you want it to be?
Okay, so if it's a contractionary, that means you have an inflationary gap and you want real GDP to decrease.
I didn't know if it was.
Yeah.
I thought you were-
You're right. Anyone else? Nothing? Okay, I'll go forward. All right, for resources, wages, energy, oil, production costs are all resources. Now, anything to make something is a resource, but those are the ones that seem to come up on the test the most. All right, if wages decrease, Aaron, what shifts in what direction? Did I say decrease or increase? I forgot. If wages decrease, Aaron. All right, now I use that one. And if I was like telling Aaron what answer I want him to say, I would have wanted him to say supply left, because people get confused on that. A decrease in wages, just supply right. If you're not sure, just think, does the company make more or less money? Wages go down, the company makes more money, it's gonna supply more. Okay? All right. We did this one, right?
Yeah.
All right, here's, and maybe you guys didn't have this problem, but a lot of classes are having problems figuring out which formula to use. And the reason I put this back up is if they're gonna give you two disposable incomes, it's probably gonna be a question about marginal propensity to consume or marginal propensity to save. Because those are the only two where the change of income really matters. So when you are like reading this, if you have trouble figuring out which formula to use, and there's two incomes, and there'll be a multiple choice question later like that, you could almost bet it's gonna be one of those marginal propensity questions. Okay, so just a way to figure out which one is which. Any questions on that? Okay, we did that. I know we did this, I think. I want to do it again because all day people have got confused. Go, I'll give you a minute. All right, fourth, what do we got? I've got a lot of broccoli, a lot of broccoli. All right, BK. Why is it B and not A?
Well, because when you ship one, like, what was it, the multiplier effect? So it's like there's always gonna be an option that it's gonna be a little more than what it originally was.
So government spending is always gonna win if we do it the same way both, right? Okay, now. Here's something, and I hate to even bring this up, but I will. For this test, have we really talked about money supply? I mean, you could just cross those out, okay? They become more effective at the end of the year because we have talked about it, and it could be. And we really haven't talked about interest rates. I'd almost be able to knock those out. Just remember, the multiplier is bigger in demand. There's two questions like this on the test, okay? All right, can you graph, forget about the MPC, could you graph, suppose the US economy is currently operating above full employment. Draw a correctly labeled graph using SRAS, AD, and LRAS, potential output's 800, actual output is 16. Okay. This is the full potential. That's all right. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Do you have like 816? Oh, no, the government, we'll do that in a second. All right, so you should look something like this. LRAF should say 800, and then the actual output should say 16. Okay, now some of you started like here and shifted 8. You could do that, but you could just start at this inflationary gap. All right, I'll give you a minute now. How does government have to, how much spending to get back to the long run? Give you a minute to do that. It's on your page, but it's that one. Okay. All right. Ryan, my first question to you is, do I want to, so I'm going to use the formula, right? Change in GDP equals multiplier times initial government spending, right?
Yes.
Do I want to increase GDP or decrease GDP? You said decrease? All right, by,
800.
okay, great. All right, Ethan, could you help me find the multiplier? No, yeah, could you just tell me how to find the multiplier?
1 over MTS.
All right, so 1 over,
1 over 1 minus 0.75.
okay, so then it gets 1 over 0.25.
Yeah, you get.
So the multiplier is 4. I don't know what government spending is, so that's X. So you got 4X equals minus 800. So government has to decrease by 200. Is that right?
Yeah.
I know it's not the question, but how would you go from here and say it's, the question was,
Taxes?
yes, taxes.
All right, so now my multiplier was 4. So I gotta go 1 minus the spending multiplier. 1 minus 4 would be minus 3, right? So now I'm gonna have 800 minus 3X. But now, and all right, what about math, guys? Just give me the number.
200.
All right, but I'm gonna get a positive 267, right? Because they're two negatives. So I gotta increase taxes by 267. Okay? Is that what you wanted? All right. Any questions on that? Good? Okay. We're gonna do some more. All right, Sebastian, what type of gap? All right, recessionary. Alex, if I go from B to A, does income increase, decrease, or stay the same? Henry, if I go from B to A, does employment increase, decrease, or stay the same? All right, so real GDP, employment, and income all move in the same direction. Carlos, what fiscal policy do I use at B? All right, but be more specific.
Increase.
Okay, good job. All right, assume the marginal propensity to consume is 0.8, the potential output is 800 billion, the government spending multiplier is. And by the way, they could call it the Keynes multiplier, the simple multiplier. They're all the same.
Beautiful. No. That will say that your brother is on like that. We don't need to. I didn't need some, I'll make 2.
All right, boards, please. I've got some Ellens, some Ellens, some Ellens. All right. Again, the multiplier is 1 over 1 minus MPC, which equals 1 over 1 minus 0.8, 1 over 0.2, and that's 5. Okay? Feel free to use your calculators. Someone came up with the board. All right, here we go. Take a minute or two, answer these questions. Give you like another minute. AI.
Yes.
What type of gap? All right, inflationary. BC, what type of contractionary, expansionary?
Fractionary,
Contractionary, BC, what are the two options?
decrease government spending or decrease taxes.
Okay, Tyler, did you do government spending or taxes to fix it?
No.
Okay, so, again, we'll have the change in GDP equals multiplier times initial investment, initial government spending. Tyler, how much does GDP have to change? -50, and what did they give you? 0.9, so the multiplier is what? All right, right, is 10, so you got X, so X is -5, okay? We good? Aiden, good? Okay. Nathan, if they said, how would we get to the long run with no fiscal or government intervention?
So because you're producing more than the long run, your wages are gonna increase. And that's gonna shift supply left.
You eventually get like supply over here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that also, like I said, there's one or two where they might say, there's no government intervention, how do they get to the long run? Like Nathan just talked us through it. All right, student economy is producing real GDP of 300 billion. The potential output is equal to 400 billion. The MPC is equal to 0.8. Then the government should follow a policy of. Give you a minute to work your way through it. All right, what do the boards say? Got a lot of dogwoods, a lot of dogwoods. All right. Matthew, is this recessionary or inflationary gap? Okay, and how did you know it was a recessionary gap?
So it's 400 and the actual 300.
Okay, so the actual is smaller. So since you're doing a great job here, actual change in DB is multiplied. Now, it's the tax multiplier, right? Because all the answers are in tax. So, T, what is the gap? Do I want to increase it or decrease it?
Decrease. But I increase.
Increase, right? So I got 100 is my gap. All right, T, what is the tax multiplier? 4, okay, -4, and so it's -4x, so x equals 20, -25. So I got to decrease tax by 25 billion. Okay. All right, you guys did a really good job. A lot of classes went for E because they forgot to change to the tax multiplier. Okay. Any questions on this? Yes.
So how do we do -4?
Okay, so we skipped a step and that's my fault. All right, so if you would go 1/1 minus MPC, you get 1/1 minus 0.8. So you got the spending multiplier of 5. The tax multiplier is 1 minus the spending multiplier, so you got 1 minus 4. Okay? All right, thanks for asking. I should have done. Okay, all right, let's just run through it. To government spending and taxes, okay? For number 4, let's do them both. Let's go. BK, are you done or you need another minute?
I'm finishing up.
Okay, give you another minute. Go. All right, BK type of gap, recessionary. Luke, what type of fiscal policy, contractionary, expansionary? All right, and Luke, give me the 2 options. Okay, Ben, could you walk me through the government spending?
So what you had MPC of 0.8, I did 1 minus 0.8.
All right, I'm sorry, you got ahead of me because my marker. All right, so you did 1/1 minus 0.8. That got you 1/0.2, right?
Yeah, I got 5.
So the multiplier is 5. How much do we have to change the GDP? Okay, so for government spending, you got increased by 100. Okay. Tied, were you able to do the tax?
No, I didn't do that.
All right, let's try to do it together, Ty. If the spending multiplier is 5, what is the tax multiplier gonna be?
-4.
Right, so that's 1 minus the spending multiplier, is how Ty got it. 1 minus 5 is -4, so the GDP is gonna be 500. It's gonna equal -4 times, we don't know how much the tax is, so -4x. X is gonna be decreasing taxes by 125. Okay? Any questions? Carlos, if there's no government intervention on this side, so no fiscal policy, no government spending, no taxes, how are we gonna get back to the long run?
Eventually, AS would shift to the right.
Okay, and you're correct. What gets, Carlos, AS shifting to the right?
Wages decrease.
Wages decrease. Okay, good job. Peter?
If the government doesn't intervene, does that just mean it takes a longer time to get back to equilibrium?
Yeah. And so if the government intervenes, things are gonna happen as soon as government spending starts or as soon as a tax cut. Here, you don't know. Okay? And it was the thing of, like I think I said at the time, Hoover was waiting. And like he preached that rugged individualism, we just suck it up and we all get together. And he's probably right, like, by 1950, the country probably would have been out of it. And actually, World War II would have come, that would have helped them without realizing. All right, so the proposed economy is currently experiencing a recessionary gap. Which of the following fiscal policy options is most likely to increase real GDP by the largest amount? Give you a minute. All right. What do I got on boards? I got broccoli, all broccoli. All right. Vince, why B over A? All right, so the tax multiplier is smaller, right? So they asked for the largest amount. Chris, if I look at answer D, what's gonna happen to aggregate demand?
The government purchase increase would shift it right, but then the increase in taxes would shift it left.
If they're the same, if the increase in both are the same, what's gonna shift in which direction? Because AD to the right, because government spending is a higher multiplier. All right? All right. Henry, what curve is shifting which way?
Supply is shifting left.
All right, Henry, while I have you, besides cost push, what could that be called?
Stagflation.
Stagflation. All right, would an increase in wages shift supply left?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good job. Okay. We all good? All right. Take the following information as given for a small imaginary economy. Give you a minute. We know what you're wrong.
That's easy.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, well,
You're wrong.
Oh, just save.
Okay. All right. What do you got on your boards? I got some broccoli. Okay, now, like I said, anytime you see the two incomes, I'm thinking here, marginal propensity to consume, change in consumption over change in income. So, Luke, the change in consumption is how much? The change in income? So the marginal propensity to consume is? Okay, but they're not asking that. So we know that MPC plus MPS equals 1, so 0.2. Okay? I think that was a little tricky, but. All right, so can we flash in one more? All right, we did this one, right?
This one.
Do we do this?
Yeah.
Oh, geez,
Fire.
we are just too good. And this?
Yeah.
And this? I know. I don't know. And this? All right, I don't want you to draw a Phillips curve. I want you to do this on an LRA, instead of a Phillips curve, an LRAS, SRAS, AD curve.
Ah, I got you.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. No, because we don't have. You could do C though, right? They started us in the long run. I mean, rather at equilibrium, right?
Yeah.
We have AD. All right. Ryan, customer confidence reduces, what shifts which way?
AD left, Mark.
All right, AD left. Okay, now, calculate the minute, did anyone get C?
Yeah.
What does it actually end up being? Okay,
Okay.
it's 5x equal 500, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right, have a great weekend. Do the practice test, watch the review. No. Nathan, if you get a full ride, then you go there.
We're not trying to do it. I got 68. I'm gonna do review Sunday night. I think we are trouble. And I'm also. You have a 68. Oh, okay. I guess you will. So and I think it's, I'll put it on, so you might just need to see what it's like. Do you know what I mean? Okay.
Shifters and that, like all the questions on that stuff, like the 1, 2, 3, like I understood that.
Right.
I remember.
It's,
It's the multi, the new.
and that was kind of when you were out.